Welcome, guys. Thanks for sacrificing your time, including the data, to be part of this event. Uh, I know it's been quite long since we last heard from GDSC Kyambogo, but now it's good we are back and alive with cool stuff that I know you won't want to miss out. First of all, uh, in the previous years, it was known as Developer Students Club Chambogo, but then last year it was changed to Google Developers Students Club. In case someone was used to the DS, now it is GDSC. Yeah, and we are glad that you've decided to be part of 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 this community. My name is Menya Jonathan Enoch. I'm a student at Chambogo University. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in information technology and computing. Uh, I've been part of the GDS since I joined Jambogo. I was in year one, and I got to know about the different tech communities like GDS Jambogo, and I was glad to join because these communities mentored and encouraged me on my tech while building my tech career. And I really appreciate such communities, the work they are doing, because it might seem small for the people who are being actively involved, but it does help a lot. Many people's lives are turned around. Uh, Guys are motivated, they are guided, and you get to interact with people who share the same ideas. So I'm grateful for that. Uh, Specifically, Google Developer Students Club are a community of college and university students interested in Google developer technologies. Okay, we tend to focus on Google technologies, but other technologies are also welcome. We do share them as we see later on. It's not only Google technologies like Firebase, React, Google Cloud. No, we discuss other technologies as well. So all students are welcome, both undergraduate and graduate, because the different programs that we do offer, they okay, the different topics that we do look at involve both guys who have technical knowledge and those who are new, who are just entering the tech community, or that they're just building their tech careers. So all people are welcome, both technical and non-technical, as long as you have the interest in becoming a developer or solving problems in our society. So Google Developers Students Club is supported by Google Developers. It's also another program under Google, and it is uh, bringing a lot of change to the world. Through these different programs, we are able to solve uh, community problems that help make our world a better place. Uh, right now, let us get to know our objectives as a club. As a club and its members, we aim at connecting different students. We want the students to get involved in the different activities, and in that process, they get to interact and connect. Interact and connect, whereby building the network. So, uh, building your network is very important and crucial as a developer because it really helps. You can seek for help. You can work on projects together. You can easily refer someone to a person that you know. It simplifies your work if you have a bigger network, as opposed to when your network is small. So in this club, uh, we help you grow your network by connecting with other people with the same interests. We also learn new technologies, and we become more informed about the tech world. Uh, and we gain new skills through hands-on workshops that we are planning to have later on, because I think we'll be able to resume with physical classes. And when that happens, we are planning to have some hands-on workshops so that we can really learn some new skills through events, talks, project building activities, both online and in person. So we currently we only have online events and interactions because we've been in a lockdown. But after this, we'll be having some physical ones, and we have to expect a lot because we have a lot in stock for you guys. We just request you to keep updated with us, and so that you don't miss out. Then through these clubs, we grow, applying new learnings to build great solutions for local problems, advance their skills, career, and network. Uh, we, the members of the club, give back to our community and helping others to learn. So after learning those new skills, you are expected to also help others in that, because there is a saying that says if you know and then you help someone, you would have helped a lot, because that someone will also help others, and the world will become a better place. More people get to know stuff, not just learning the stuff and keeping it to yourself. In that, you grow more when you help others grow. Yeah. So those are the objectives of the club. Uh, let's get to meet the core team. Um, Here we have our core team for 2021 to 2022. Semenya Jonathan Enoch, I'm the lead. We have Mr. Akisakie Emmanuel as our advisor. Then we have Dembe Galiwango Humphrey as the co-lead. We have our projects manager as Ekaka Emmanuel. Then Okuru William as the events manager. Sechanzi Adam, the mobilizer. And then Nachayune Oliver as the marketing director. So that's the core team that will be running the club this year. But I request that we all work as a team so that we achieve more goals. Because uh, if we work only as a core team, it will really give us hard time. But as if we work together as a team, the work will be simpler and everyone will be involved and will enjoy the learning process. So thank you very much. Let me pass on to my colleague, my co-lead, Humphrey, as takes us through the roadmap that we are planning to share this coming uh, this coming year. Humphrey, you can take on.
Yes, good morning to all. My name is Hamza Galiwango. I'm a student of Information Technology and Computer, Kyambogo, and we are glad that we have you here. So, what we are going to start to
What?
do in our agenda,
Yeah.
our roadmap, we're going to start with web development, and currently it's one of the places in IT
I tell you to talk.
where people are gaining a lot of money and they're working from home as long as you have the right skills. So, we'll start from the fundamentals. We'll start with HTML, which is the structure of the web page. Then you shall go to CSS, add some styling, customize. Then you shall do JavaScript. JavaScript to add the integrity and make our website interactive. And then you shall do some responsive web development. I think you have seen some websites now, they're measuring government websites. And you do this on a phone, but appears with a desktop version. So we are going to learn some responsive web development. Am I clear now? Am I clear?
Yeah, we are getting you. We are getting you.
Okuro said I'm not clear. Okay, let me continue with that. We shall do some web development. We shall do some media queries. We learn some flexbox and then some gridbox. These flexbox and gridbox, they tend to be complicated to many people when they are in their learning phase. But we have some resources, some tutorials, some websites which we shall share. And if you're in that field of web development, and I'm sure we shall learn a lot from that. Because this one is going to be just a space setter. Then we introduce tutorials and we shall recommend websites which give a good foundation for us to continue. Then we shall do some web development for marketing. Here we shall learn how to market, how to market our website, and also the Google ranking. We shall learn some Google ads and make sure that our websites are ranked first and for our customers. Then the career path. Then what I've talked about now, it is mainly for front-end web development, where the user is now interacting with the website. Now, if we get time, before we go to back end, we shall learn some frameworks like React. Yeah, React is a framework of JavaScript. So someone needs to first know some core languages, some core fundamentals of JavaScript. And we shall highly learn, concentrate on that, because if we teach you the framework without learning the actual language, it becomes very hard if someone introduces a new framework. Now the career path, here we have web developers, we have web developers. Now web developers have front end, we have back end. Now after learning, when we go to back end, we shall learn languages like Python, we go deeper in JavaScript, we learn some Java. But these ones, we may not have them in our sessions, like step by step, but we shall recommend resources which we can use. Yes. Next slide, please. Now, after all that, when we develop websites, sometimes we need wireframe, because in the marketplace, you may have a manager who does not know how to code, but needs someone and needs some impression to give you a job. That's why we have UI and UX design. We can use wireframes, like that one there, so that we can show people what we are going to do. Yes, we shall learn what is UI, what is UX. Some people confuse the two. Then we shall know the purpose why it is necessary to learn UI and UX design. Yeah, then the softwares we shall learn Adobe XD, we shall learn Figma, yeah, and others. We have seen their Sketch. Then the career path here, we have UX designers, UI designers. Then we shall also give a good career path to start graphics design without going to school. Yeah, because in IT, you'll be able to learn from home without the need to go and pay for course. So the most good developers, they'll need what they need their skills. Can you achieve something? And according to our programs we start at school, they are mostly theoretical. So we shall learn a lot from this session. Yeah. And we shall have people like career people who are good in this field. We shall also introduce places like design gurus. Those who are in graphics design know that place. It's a group of good graphic designers. So we shall also where I said path. So there's a good career path to start graphic design, because if you just fall into programs, you get stuck and get confused. Yeah, because many people stop in programs, but there's a nice way to start, and we have a path. And I'm sure we shall learn a lot from each other. Because here in the Google Developers stuff, the Google Developers Students Club, we are going to learn a lot. Because here we have pros, we have beginners, we have intermediate, and we shall learn from each other, connect with each other, and we develop our skills. Next page. Next slide. Now, this is one of the most important things. Yeah, someone has said I'm not clear. My network?
Yeah, I think it might be your network. You're kind of low, but we can at least hear you. You're just low, but we can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. As I'm using a phone and I'm using wireless, I think that's why I'm having a problem. Now, lastly, I'm going to talk about building the online presence. What's facing high many people these days that you don't people don't gigs. You also know some places. I'll show you some places where you can apply for jobs online from your home. You present what you have, and if the employer is impressed, he gives you the job. Then you shall learn about LinkedIn. Yeah, if you're in software tech or in IT field, LinkedIn is one of the places where you should build your portfolio. Or as interact, follow people, you get endorsements. Yeah, we shall also learn how to build a good profile which can attract people and we go together. Now, Stack Overflow is a place where if you have a question in IT, you can run to, if you want to ask, if you want to contribute. Now, when we learn together, you gain the skills and then you try to go to Stack Overflow to see if you can answer some questions or you can learn. If you have a question to ask, you can go and then you contribute. Now, we shall see how relevant is your resume. Now, resumes, we have modern resume, we have ATS resume. Now, ATS is a software, and some people they don't know when to send an ATS resume or a modern resume. Now, sometimes they send graphics when they are going to use an ATS software, and the resume is dropped off immediately. So after we learn this, we get to know. We shall show you the techniques on how to say so these people are going to use an ATS software. Oh, they'll just need a modern resume. All that we shall learn together in this place. And that's where I'll end. And I'll pass to the next person. But we are glad to have you reading and learning, waiting to learn from each other. You're most welcome. Back to this main.
Thanks very much, Humphrey. Now we are having our next presenter, and that is going to be Okulu William. He's going to take us through the second part of our roadmap. That has just been the intro to the roadmap that we are planning to have this year. Okulu, you can take on.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Okuro William.
Good morning.
My name is Okuro William, student at Kyambogo University, pursuing a course of Bachelor's in Information Technology and Computing. Thank you, Jonathan, for the great introduction. Thank you, Humphrey, for the slides. It was a great one. I'm going to go through a few slides, and we shall start with the version control system. Before we look at what this is, Humphrey has been talking about front end and so on and so forth. And all this, we shall be managing them and enhancing our experience by doing projects in those fields that Humphrey has talked about. So before we do our projects, we have to look at how shall we manage our projects. So let's take an example of a multinational company with offices spread all over the country, all over the world. Okay, the offices are not together. It has very many offices. And these offices have workers, the team, the software engineers, and these people have to work to the same project on those fields that Humphrey has talked about. These people have to work on the same, and at the end of the day, they have to come up with something as one. So how will these people at different places work and manage those projects? That is why when we bring in the version control system, possibly the challenges this company would be facing without these version control systems. What are the possible challenges? Collaboration between these software engineers will be very difficult, because these people will not be having a platform. If they don't meet face to face to join their projects, they will not be having a clear platform for working from remotely and a distant area. We also have storing versions. They will not be able to store the previous version they've been working on, but instead they'll be joining all the versions. They'll be putting them together, or even the difficulties in storing them will merge. We also have, I've talked about the version, and also figuring out what happened and when did that happen. If me, Jonathan, and Humphrey, we are working on a certain project, we shall find it hard to find out that what did Humphrey do and when did Humphrey do this, and it will give us difficulties when it comes to finding errors when we are looking at our project. And the backup, let's assume Humphrey lost data. He's working on his project and then maybe abruptly his hard disk crashes. This will lead to the loss of all the section that Humphrey has been working on. So what would be the solution to all these problems? That is when we bring in our version control system. Version control system will take care of all those problems. It will take track of the changes made and when are those changes being made. It will also make sure that all the team members are working on the latest version. That is what this version control system will be doing. And also we look at what are the benefits of the control, the version control system. It helps in merging, as I told you before. This company has offices spread all over the country. So this version control system will be helping. It will be helping to merge and also secure or protect our source code. Humphrey will be working from their side, Jonathan from their side, and then me here. And then at the end of the day, when we come to merge or push our project, the section we have been working on, we shall see that what did Humphrey do and when did Humphrey do this? What did Jonathan do and when did he do? And what did I do? And are they compatible? And then we can merge and then see the end result even without us meeting face to face. Okay, it keeps track of the modifications. I've just talked about that. Let's look at the best versions of the control systems that we have. GitHub is ruling the market, as actually it is one of the most popular version control systems that we have. We have GitHub. We also have GitLab. We have Beanstalk. We have AWS Code Commit. We have Apache Subversion. We have Team Foundation Server. And then we have Bitbucket. I think those are most of the popular version control systems that we can be having. So let's have a brief introduction to Git and then GitHub. We saw all of us that GitHub was one of the popular version control systems that we had. And then Git is an open source version of the VCS, the version control system that runs locally on our computers. We have to download it on our computers, whereas the GitHub, it is global. It works on the web. We don't have to download it, but it works hand in hand with the Git. Okay. Then let's look at what Git does. We say Git works hand in hand with GitHub. So with Git, with GitHub we use Git in it. It keeps track of all the changes. It is all the benefits of the version control systems are in the Git and the GitHub that I talked about. Keeping track of the changes and the modifications made for easy debugging and testing of the projects. Synchronization of code between different people. What Humphrey has made, what Jonathan has made, and what I've made, and then synchronization, bringing them together and see if they potentially match to come up with the final project. Testing changes to the code without losing the original. Just take a look at, you want to test, you're working on a project and you worked on your project yesterday and you want to work on the same project today. But today you're including new changes to it, of which changes can either mess up the project or it can be a success to the project. So for the mess, yes?
Excuse me?
Yes.
I wanted to clarify about Git and GitHub because there's some difference.
Yes.
Because let's say Git actually is the version control system. Then
Yes.
GitHub is like a server in the cloud where you push your source code, let's say your project you're working on, onto GitHub. So GitHub is a server. It hosts
Git.
It hosts your Git projects as you're working on. And GitHub is the version control system. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Derek. Okay, back to the line. I was talking about changes without losing the original. Yeah, whereby we have a project that we are working on yesterday, and we want to make more changes on the project that we are working on today. Without this Git, you can't easily keep the original. Okay, you can keep the original by saving it, and then you edit the copy. But at the end of the project, you will find out that you have a lot of the old versions of the projects that you were working on, of which that causes redundancy. And with version control system, with Git, this has been reduced. That redundancy has been cut off, whereby we work on our project yesterday, and then today you want to make modifications on your project and test the project if the modification is working. What Git does is it will give you a branch to make the modification, and then after making that modification, after you have committed your modification to the main branch, you can run the test of the entire project, And then if you find out that it is not, it is making some weird and what you didn't expect changes on your project, that is the next thing that I'm going to talk about. Is JIT also provides that feature of reverting back to the old version of the code. If you find out that the modification you've made is totally a mess of your project, you can revert to the original version without piling and saving each and every time the old versions, whereby at the end of the project, you have a very large and big number of old versions. Time is not on our side. Let's go on to the command line basics. Now let's look at what this command line is. Command line is a way of interacting with the computer directly using text commands without using the graphical user interface. This instance of the command line, it happened. It started back in the days of the computing generation, whereby we only had to use commands to operate a computer. There was nothing like graphical, whereby you just click and drag and move. Everything was using commands. But now it doesn't mean that since we have introduced the graphical, we are going to phase out command line. There are a lot of softwares and applications that really need to operate using this command line. Like I've just talked about the JIT, we shall look at later in the sessions that we shall be handling. We shall look at how we shall be using these commands. Why we shall be needing this command line and the commands. So it doesn't mean that since we have the graphical, we are going to phase out the command line. So what exactly shall we be using these commands for? For the GitHub, it has for the JIT, it has its own command line commands. But for the DOS, actually, before we had the Microsoft DOS as the operating system, leaving out the Windows that came out with the graphical, we had the Microsoft DOS. So we shall be having the Microsoft DOS basic commands like creating a file. Right now, you just click and then go to create new. But before we can create a file just using commands, move that file, delete that file, and also open that file and see what is in the file. All that we shall be looking at further in the sessions that we shall be handling. Okay, let's look at a bit of intro to the programming language. Jonah, give me that slide.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
Hello.
Yeah. Let me.
Okay.
Present it.
We have what is called programming language, and in computer science, programming language is just a computer language whereby computer language programmers use to develop softwares, scripts, and other sets of instructions for the computers to execute. So, for our session, we decided to go in for Python language, being the most popular now, and since it is diverse. Python is diverse. Python is a multi-purpose programming language. It does not only one thing. It does a lot of things, can do everything almost that Humphrey talked about. Python can do, meaning Python is a best decision for the programming language. Python is very easy to learn. Python is one of the most easiest languages to learn, though it needs a lot of logic, of which logic and the learning we shall apply furthermore in the sessions if you're to continue with us. the fields that we shall maybe tackle, the basics fields I can give you, we shall be having something like this: setting up our Python environment, Python objects and data structures. We look at the Python operators, Python statements, Python methods and functions. Python also supports object-oriented programming. So we shall look at all this, and we find out that if after learning the Python, how can we easily apply our Python knowledge? After learning our Python language knowledge, we can go and apply. Since I told you it is I told you Python tackles a lot of things. Python can do a lot of things. We shall be applying it to the knowledge to the machine learning down on the next line. We shall also look at a bit of machine learning using our Python knowledge that we shall have learned, whereby the machine learning we shall be using a TensorFlow. TensorFlow is an open source platform for machine learning. Actually, it is like a software whereby it will be guiding us on how to run our code and come up with the end result on machine learning. React and Firebase. React is a JavaScript library tool for building user interface components. Yeah, we shall also look at that, how we can create the user interface. I think Humphrey also talked about that up there. Firebase is a platform developed by Google for creating mobile apps and web applications, and provides services and tools to develop dynamic and responsive apps. We shall also look at that in details furthermore in our sessions that we shall be holding, God willingly. Android, those are the Android apps, and so all we shall be using Kotlin. Google Cloud is a suite of cloud computing services that runs on the same infrastructures that Google uses internally for its end user products, such as the Google Search, Gmail, storage, and YouTube. All that we shall be looking at it more further in the sessions. You have their data management system. Database management system. After seeing all that, we shall be looking at database. Database, how will our data be manipulated? How shall we store our data, accepting queries, obtaining information, and returning the needed results from our web applications, our applications, and then our websites that we shall be creating as time comes. Maybe the examples of the database management systems that I can give you. We have the Postgres, SQL, MySQL, and then Oracle, and then MariaDB. Those are the examples that I have for database management. I want to thank all of you for the turn up. Being a start, the turn up is not bad, but furthermore in the coming sessions, I hope the turn up will be very good. Thank you all of you for the attendance. I hope this session will give you a good light to the introduction to technology. Thank you very much. Let me hand in back to Jonathan.
All right. Thanks a lot, William, for that nice presentation. And I personally, the most thing I like about, the most interesting part about what you shared, according to me, it was the command line basics. Because I like, actually, if I'm working with Linux, I just like the way the terminal gives you control over your PC. How you can make like 1,000 folders in just one command. How you can stop any app that you don't want to. All those tricks. I really like that stuff, and I'm looking forward to see how what we are to share about that topic. Anyways, thank you for presenting, and I believe we've learned something new, or you've at least enlightened to people who have just joined the tech community, or the tech that are just building their tech career. Uh, so because we said we would end at around 11:50, so the time has come. It's already time. Let me just conclude, and then we will end the event. Uh, Thanks for showing up. I just want us to to enroll, to join the community by following that link that I sent on uh, this link, the ones for Kyambogo University developers community, so that we always keep updated with the upcoming events, and and it also helps us while we are monitoring the different events. Today the attendance has not been recorded, but if we join, it is easier to join an event. You don't need to ask for the link. The link automatically comes into your mail, and you can easily uh, join. Uh, Otherwise, thanks a lot for sacrificing your time and being part of this event. And I conclude by saying this quote by, I think it was Fiedler, who said, "Your net worth is your network is your net worth." Let us try building our network before running out of time, because that network really matters when you enter into when you enter into the when you're out of school and then you have to get employed. The network that you built helps a lot in all the different categories, whether be it financial, be it any aspects of life. Your network really matters. So thank you guys. Hope to see you in the next event. Have a good time. Yeah.
Simenya, do you have the link to the WhatsApp group?
Can you please share it, because I'm not using my phone right now. Share it, because I know you have it. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Humphrey, sorry, my mic was off, but please help me share it, because I'm not, my phone is is not here.
No one is telling us about the next session. Someone should at least give us a clue about that.
Okay. Sorry, you had, because we had talked about it, but the next nation is going to take place on the 27th, I think, because it would have been on the 9th of October, but since it's a public holiday, we postponed it to the next weekend. That's when we'll be looking at front-end web development in detail. So, and we'll be updating you with the different events that are coming up. Yeah, just help us follow the link and join the community, so that you're always updated and don't miss out on the events.